Hi Gemini, welcome to your October 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. I'm getting that Five of Swords. And then I'm going to pick an additional card. And an additional card. And an additional card. Okay, this is weird. I pick additional cards sometimes, but it's like all these came up in a row. Okay, let me just look at this for a second here. Okay, so I just want to give a message before I start talking about this in general. For those Gemini people who have left relationships, maybe recently, I don't know how recently, but I feel like, and I'm talking about like marriage type of relationships, even if you were not legally married, but you had that type of committed partnership, that it's a blessing in disguise. You may not have been the one that initiated it, so it doesn't feel that good. And I'm thinking of those Gemini sun signs who have inner planets in Cancer. Of course, your moon could be in Cancer or any water sign, and that would apply as well, or Taurus. But if your Mercury, Venus, and or Mars is in Cancer, you may have a hard time letting go of relationships, even if they're not suiting you, because we have here in the past position, Seven of Wands. This means your defenses may have been up with a certain person. It could be people, I suppose, because we do have this Five of Swords below it. So, but anyway, if you're in an environment where most of the feedback that you hear about yourself is negative, then chances are you're not in a healthy environment. You're not in a place that is really supportive of you being able to feel like you are worthy. That's no fun. That's no good. That's not good. So, being able to see when you are being treated in a way that you don't deserve to be treated is very important. And if this is a work-related thing, the Ten of Cups, this could mean that it's affecting your family life. Maybe you're coming home in a bad mood. But if this is like, the Ten of Cups itself can be a card of marriage and family. So with the Seven of Wands, that could show that there's that tension, or maybe that you've even broken it off, because of that. And actually, the Nine of Cups, it's like a blessing. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but it's still a blessing. What crosses you is the Emperor. This can be the person that you might be with. This card is connected to Aries. I connected to Capricorn, but whatever. It's like a controlling person, maybe a male, authoritarian type of individual, who believes that certain things, it's like there's black and white. And those types of people, the problem with them is that they don't see that there are other options in life. And so they tend to kind of be dictating to other people how they should think, how they should feel. And that type of person is not going to be very compatible with you, even though, if this person was literally like an Aries, they might be compatible in terms of elements or signs, but not in terms of the way that you approach life. And those are the type of people that tend to criticize others excessively because, first of all, they're very self-centered. At worst, they could be narcissists, and everything is, their truth is the ultimate truth, and nobody else can, nobody else's reality matters to them. So they tend to dictate to others how they should think about something or feel about something. So obviously that's really annoying. And that might be something that you have had to grapple with. But also, what I would say about this person is that they could be very, yeah, they're just like very controlling in general. And to me, it's almost like a limited mentality in a sense. But this could also be a father. The emperor can be a father, so you may feel this sense of like that he, you know, you could say poison the well in a way, but he created this mindset within yourself. You might blame him for the way that you think and feel about things, or the insecurity that you feel because of certain things in your life. And you have to, it's understandable, but you have to take responsibility for how you see things, even if you're someone who feels like you were treated that way. You still have to take responsibility. And you can't, you're an adult now, so that person doesn't dominate you. Maybe at one time they really dominated you, but now they don't, and now it's time to take over. Now, these cards, actually, I'm going to put these to the side because these aren't what I picked. I should have just left it alone with the Knight of Swords. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was kind of like a lackluster finish. What's coming in is the Five of Swords. You're going to find out who is on Team Gemini and who isn't. I did another reading where I got the Five of Swords, and I was even thinking that the Five of Swords might be connected to Gemini astrologically, because unfortunately, the lower expression of Gemini, the low vibe Geminis, can be two-faced. And so they're the ones that are smiling to somebody's face and talking behind their back. Now, you may have this happen to you. So if you have left a job, or you've left a relationship, and you're leaving the person behind that job or relationship, one thing to realize is that if you suspected that that person was a narcissist, don't think that they're not going to badmouth you, because they may very well do that. And you get to decide how you respond to that, because you may feel like, hey, this person is lying about me and I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And maybe you do decide that you're going to, if somebody approaches you, you will tell them the truth about the situation. The key is not to go down into the mud with that person, because that person may very well be trying to get you to keep the drama going, even if they're the ones that broke up with you. So you have to be very careful and savvy about those kinds of things, because that's a narcissist's tact, is to one of their greatest, I think it's tact, isn't it? Not tact, I don't know. It's ploy. How about ploy? It's one of their ploys to try and maybe instigate something where they're the ones doing it, and then they want to suck you into the negative energy. The outcome is the Knight of Swords. And the reason I didn't end with this card is I always think, with the Knight of Swords. It's a card, I think in terms of evolution, in your case, it could be that you realize that you have to I was going to say speak up more, but I don't think Geminis are really afraid of speaking up. I think really with Geminis, it's more of a case of doing something in a more, I would say, a more controlled way, which the Knight of Swords actually isn't. It could be kind of blunt and immediate. And I would say speaking up for yourself, but I would also say doing so in a timely manner. Like, don't allow yourself to be criticized for any length of time, But at the same time, you're not just flying off the handle, you're not just shooting from the mouth. You're actually saying things that are um, very on point in a timely manner. So I picked a few additional cards, trying to uh, have clarification cards, but then it just got me deeper into a hole. One of them is the Five of Pentacles, and so some of you may be, this may just be reflecting the fact that you have left a job because of a boss that is like this Emperor in reverse. That might be very controlling, not really positive with you. And I just want to say about that card, the Five of Pentacles, if you've left a job, you have to really get your fears in check, because you might be like, oh my God, now what? What do I do now? And you have to really calm your nervous system, because you might have a very hyperactive one, and ground yourself. So be very much aware of the physical instead of floating like a kite that a Gemini person might be want to do, and really strategize. The Five of Pentacles can be fear-based consciousness or lack mentality, as well as unemployment and even money issues. So definitely if somebody is planning to leave their job, it is preferable to have savings and things like that than just to leave if you have no other job lined up and stuff like that. And unless, of course, there's some kind of major thing that it really threatens your very health or something like that, mental or physical health, then, there's no amount of the money in the world that's worth that sometimes. And then I also got the Four of Cups. Pay attention to what doesn't feel aligned, what feels blah to you, because that can give you an idea. If you don't know what you want to do in life, you might whittle it down by knowing what you don't want to do. They say, I don't know if they actually say this, but they could say that about Gemini, jack of all trades and master of none, because you do like to dabble, but I think dabbling is preferable to just committing to something blindly, following it, even if you're not really into it. That doesn't make sense to me. Even if you've invested money in training and all that, if you really don't feel that you like it, then you have to admit that. And same with relationships. If you've been married for 20 years and you feel this sense of indifference to the relationship, but you're afraid of, oh my God, being alone, or I'll never find love again, you're settling for a relationship instead of thriving in it. So the last card I picked, I could have kept going on and on, is the Ten of Wands. What are you, and maybe this is just a tendency you have, like a codependency within yourself, Gemini. How do you tend to take charge, take responsibility for something that isn't necessarily yours? So if you're in a job place and they ask you to say, hey, can you work 10 hours today? Oh, sure. And really the reason you're doing it is you're covering for somebody else, but you're not getting overtime, and it's imposing on your free time. Why are you shouldering that responsibility? Could it be that you feel obligated even when you're not? So that's something that's on your end of things that you have to really think about changing. And same with relationships. Do you tend to do much of the heavy lifting in the relationship, and the other person isn't really as invested as you. Very important questions to ask for the future. Okay, that's what I have for you, Gemini. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.